Alright, let's look at how we can actually use business model innovation canvas to innovate in the customer segment component of your open data program. Understanding your customer is a primary goal of your open data program, and then segmenting your customer according to their needs is the next step forward. So you can actually tailor a lot of your services and activities towards each customer segment so that you can actually boost the customer satisfaction overall. For open data program, these are the four segments, common segments. The first one being app developers. They consume your data on a daily basis. They're very important for ensuring that your open data delivers value to a citizen on a day-to-day basis. To give an example, the bus timetables. As soon as the transport agency publishes the timetables and the real-time information of their transport services, the app community ingest the data and make it available through their transport apps so that the citizens can actually use it to plan a journey. So these are an example of daily customers. The next segmentation is academia, where just not academia, there could be another kind of segment there where they actually periodically consume your data. It doesn't have to be on a daily basis, but they consume at a certain periodic interval. To give you a perfect example, academia publishes a lot of papers in journals. If you are planning to publish a lot of granular open data, then academia can actually ingest the data on a periodic basis so that they can actually publish more data or do more research on certain areas of research. And the other one is your vendors, where they actually consume data on a quarterly basis. The reason they consume on a quarterly basis is they want to make sure that the data quality published is a lot more valuable to them, and they also need some time to do their quality assurance checks in their backend so that they can actually ingest the data from your open data portal. A perfect example could be all the geospatial data you publish on streets, roads, road signs, canopies, parks, and other new suburbs and things like that. All these geospatial vendors actually ingest the data on a quarterly basis. Last but not the least, your hackathon community, where they actually use the data once in every year. Let's delve into how you can actually target some of this customer segment and then probably do some innovation in each of this segment. Let's look at app developers. So as I mentioned earlier, so the app developers produce a lot of apps which are customer facing apps, and these are of high quality in nature, and they also use a lot of open data under the hood. So for them, if you really want to innovate in this segment, the only way you can actually boost the customer satisfaction is through a timely delivery of data. As soon as some new timetable is published or a real-time information of your transport services, give a timely update to all these app developers. Most importantly, this timely data update can be done through APIs. So ensuring you have a good API management program inside your open data portal definitely solidifies the customer relationship, and you can actually innovate a lot more in this customer segment. The other aspect which is also missed in this customer segment is the strict SLAs, the service level agreements you need to have with the app developers. Because if some kind of data problem is happening, or some kind of a data format is not aligned, or some kind of a mismatch is happening, the app developers will pick it up, the errors in any of your timetabling or your real-time information of your transport, and then they pass on the feedback to you, and then you have to act on it very quickly. This is just an example of a transport agency, but having said that, this applies to a wide range of agencies across your public sector. So having a strict SLA for an app developer segment, customer segment, is far more valuable and ensures that there is a lot of trust and customer satisfaction happening across the society, especially the citizens. The next customer segment I want to talk about is the academia, where they don't have strict constraints on the time in terms of the timely deliverable of your open data sets, but instead they're very focused on, can I get access to the granular data set for research. These data sets have to be released with a lot of caution. The reason being, the open data set should not breach the privacy of any citizens. If any individual citizen is identified using that granular data set, it's a breach of privacy in many jurisdictions across the world. So ensure that you have some privacy preserving methods before you release the granular data sets. There are new methods available, modern methods like differential privacy, and then even injecting some noise into the data set before you publish, so that this noise cannot be removed by any researchers, is a good way to publish granular open data set. Ensuring a high quality data for this customer segment definitely boost quality research coming out of academia, which means that the public sector, the country in which the public sector agencies operate, obviously get high ranking in the world for their research contribution. So it definitely adds value to the overall research output of the country. The other two aspects in academia is that make sure when you publish data, you have good documentations associated with it. Otherwise, the academia might misinterpret data. They might not understand the business context in which this data is collected for. The third customer segment I want to talk about is the external vendors. They produce a lot of enterprise applications which is used by businesses across the world. So when you publish open data sets for this customer segment, they have a strong business focus. Ensuring a timely data update and having a strict SLAs with the vendor definitely help you to boost customer satisfaction for this category. There are a few strategic things you can do to innovate in this customer segment. Since I said it's all about publishing data, some of them have granular data. Having a good privacy framework or some kind of a program that preserves or checks the privacy before releasing into the open data portal definitely strengthens your open data program. The other important aspect is also, if you publish open data sets, you also need to do some quality checks to ensure that this cannot be reverse engineered. So that's very, very important. A lot of public agencies do not possess that capability at this point in time. As a strategic exercise, you can actually build some kind of a software program where a public sector agency's employee or open data team can actually utilize to check whether they actually violate any kind of privacy legislation. This program will automatically check for that and then obviously inform the team. This is one of the strategic exercises you can do, and that's a very big innovation for an open data program. And the other aspects is all the legal frameworks and the MOUs, because you're targeting the customer segment, especially academia and app developers. Having some kind of a legal framework and MOUs signed with this academia definitely strengthens this partnership. Also ensures there's a lot of trust built into the all this legal framework as well. So which is fantastic. In terms of some of the tactical plan for your customer segment, since your staff is going to be releasing a lot of data, make sure your employees or your open data team is trained on privacy. They need to understand what's the importance of privacy, how it actually impacts people's lives and things like that. Very, very important. Also, the other tactical plan you can have is to have a data release checklist. Once the sign-off process is done from your data custodian and data owner, ensuring you have a good data release checklist will definitely strengthens the diligence you do on open data release Obviously, it's more of a quality assurance process. Having automated scripts to do all these things definitely is another innovation. You can actually do it internally in your open data team. Having automated scripts to do this data release checklist or checking on a lot of privacy aspects before you release a granular data sets will reduce your time to value. Most of your customers and the key partners of your open data program will really appreciate when this time to value is reduced. This actually shows that the agility in the open data in your public sector organizations to move and adapt to changes. The other one is in terms of hackathon funding, ensuring you talk to the key partners and then making sure that there is some kind of a funding channel open to fund your hackathon is also a good tactical plan to have for this customer segment.